Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So I'm filming my May wrap up and yeah, I read 16 books this month and I didn't complete my book update, which is first, and let's just say that it was not a bad reading month, but yeah, it wasn't the best. To be honest, it just didn't go so well with the books that I had to read. But let's just go over them and see kind of how it went. So, the first book I read was Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, and I gave these 3 stars. So, basically, this is about a boy who writes a diary, and it's about his life. Yeah. I don't know what more to explain. It's not that long. It's a children's middle grade something book. It was okay. I did enjoy it. But yeah, 3 stars, it's not that bad. And yeah, I overall really enjoyed it. The next book I read was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And I gave this 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this book. So, it's about Charlie. And yeah, it's written in like letter format. So, you have all these letters that explains what happens in his life. So, yeah, I can't wait to see the movie, see how I like that one in comparison to the book. I really enjoyed the book. It's interesting. It's not like my favorite book, but overall it was really interesting and yeah. I mean, I don't have the kind of, I almost said hype that other people have, the nostalgia that other people have. Just because I read it now. It's the first time I have ever read this, and yeah, I overall really enjoyed it. The next book I read was The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren, and I gave it 5 stars. I loved this. It was super fun, and I can't wait to reread this sometimes in the future. So we are following Olive, and she has a sister who is super lucky, and basically the sister is getting married, and she has won this. She has won basically all that she needs in this wedding, and she has this unrefundable honeymoon. And all the guests except Olive and the best man of the groom in the wedding, who is Ethan, who is basically Olive and Ethan don't like each other. And basically, they give Olive and Ethan their honeymoon, so they need to go to Hawaii, and they have to pretend that they are their siblings. So, yeah. So it's Hate to Love, and I so love this. It was super, super fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed how everything went. It's the first Christina Lauren I have read, and I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to read more from them and see kind of how all of them compare, because I feel like I started with one of the best ones. The next book I read was a nonfiction called Emotional Intelligence by Judy Dyer, and I gave this 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed this. So basically, what this is about is something called emotional intelligence. And basically, if you have high emotional intelligence, uh, I almost said that I almost said life is easier. Basically, I will call you. You kind of are a better person with this, and you can kind of you learn about emotional intelligence. And I really enjoyed this book. I liked to kind of read about what this was and how it will, yeah, how this will kind of be in your life. And the one thing that I do remember is that highest vibration wins. Basically means that if you are kind of in a higher state than the other people in the room, then you kind of trump all. So it was super interesting, and I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was Timeless Beginnings by Amber Dalton, and I gave this one also 4 stars. So basically, this is about a girl who is from, I don't remember where, but she's from London way back in the day, and she runs away after she has gotten married and goes into this cave, and is kind of time traveling forward to Bolivia, and she meets this man who is a soldier in the States, and they meet and fall in love. So it's their story. It's a really short story, and but I really did enjoy how it all went. And yeah, it went by really not quickly. He was really a gentleman and didn't want to push her to do anything. So yeah, the next book I read was The Sweetest Kind of Poison by Katie Windsor, and I gave these 4 stars as well. So basically, this is a poetry collection about kind of poisonous relationships. I have never been in one myself. However, some of some of these really kind of hit me, and even though I have never been in a toxic relationship myself, I don't know how to explain it, because I haven't been in a relationship with people, but I have had toxic people in my life, and I have even liked some of them. And yeah, I really did enjoy this, and it's my first poetry collection, so 4 stars is really good, and want to get more into poetry after this book. The next book I read was The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams, and I gave it 5 stars. I loved this romance. So basically, we are following Gavin, and he is a baseman in Nashville. So he's a baseball player, and basically, he finds out that his wife has been faking the big O for so long, their whole marriage, and basically he finds out, he freaks, and basically they are on the verge of getting a divorce when he decides that he doesn't want this. So he goes to his friends, and they have this book club where they read kind of historical romances to fix their relationships. So he learns how to kind of how woman thinks through this book, and it was super funny. I loved the family dynamic, and I kind of loved the entire book, and it was super fun. I can't wait to reread this sometime in the future, but also read the other ones. People have said that the next one isn't as good. However, I don't know how I feel yet, so I really want to continue on with this series. The next 3 books I read in a day, and I had a reading vlog of that, so I will link it up in the cards. But that was the Praying for Rain trilogy. Is it the Praying for Rain trilogy? I think it is. So we have Praying for Rain, Fighting for Rain, and Dying for Rain. So I gave Praying for Rain 5 stars, Fighting for Rain 4 stars, and Dying for Rain 4 stars. So basically, the Praying for Rain is following Rain and Wes. And basically, a while ago, people started to see the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So this is a post-apocalyptic world where they only have a few days to live. And basically, Wes kind of kidnaps Rain, and it's their story, their love story, and basically Rain has kind of given up and can't wait to kind of die, I almost said, but Wes wants to live, so yeah, it was super good, and I love it. I want to reread this in the future. They are like 200 pages each, so it's not a problem to read these 3 books in a day. Super cute romance and a little smutty. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. But yeah. The next book I read was The Tourist Attraction by Sarah Morgan Taylor. And I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. So we are following Graham, and he has like this diner that he called the Tourist Trap. And he kind of made it as a joke. However, now it's one of the most popular dining places here in, I don't remember where it's at, Moose Springs. And basically, he doesn't kind of want anything to do with the tourists. However, when he meets Zoe, things change because she is nothing like the tourists he has met. So yeah, I really enjoyed this relationship between these two. It was super cute, and yeah, 4 stars. I want to continue on with this series. I can't wait to read more about these two's relationship. And I know that the next book is not from these two's perspective. However, I assume that we will still meet these 2 people in that. So I can't wait. The next book I read is called Dear Future Lover by Judith Joy, and I gave this 4 stars. I liked it. So basically, Judith Joy started years ago to write letters to her future husband, and she shares how those letters kind of made her more aware of who she wanted to have as a future husband. And it's kind of how she explains how to write these letters so that you become more aware of who kind of you bring into your life as maybe a future lover. But you can also do this with other things like job and different things. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was super interesting to see kind of how what she wrote in those letters, she kind of got in her life, which is super crazy. Yeah. The next book I read was Going Dutch by James Gregor, and I gave this 1 star. So I really liked the concept of this book. Basically, it was said to be gay dating in New York, and I know a lot of people do love this book. However, when I got gay dating in New York, I was really interested in that concept. What I got was something different. So basically, I don't remember his name because I didn't like this book, but basically it's about this man, and he meets another man. I think his name is Blake, the man he meets, and basically he starts to like him, and they get a good tone, and they eventually start to think about moving in together. And that was super interesting. But then you got kind of the love triangle who with a girl called Anne. And basically, kind of what I got, he he kind of isn't interested in Anne, but he keeps on leading her on. At least what I got. Keeps on leading her on and on and on and on and on. And then he eventually kind of sleeps with her without meaning it. And so kind of the gay dating in New York is still true. However, the main character is classified as gay, but he is bisexual. And that is not a problem either. Um, However, I just feel like it should have been more clarified, at least to my taste. I like it to be clarified that he saw Anne in that way and kind of not like she's just a friend. And you kind of get that impression all the time. And after a while, he says to Anne that he wants to move in with her too. And you are just like, but you are moving in with him. And kind of he says that to Blake that he is only faithful to him, and to Anne that he's only faithful to her. So I mean, when you say that, it kind of becomes a little cheating because you don't tell about the other person. But yeah, enough talking about that. I don't want to talk about that book anymore. Let's move on. Then I read Make Yourself Cozy by Katie West, and this was I almost said graphic novel about how to become cozy. I gave it 3 stars. Really loved it. It was really cute, and yeah, I think I would give this a higher rating if I had the physical copy, because it was really a lot of fun to read this. The next book I read was Children of the Whales by Abi Umera. And I gave this 5 stars. I really liked it. So basically we are following this boy. And he is the archivist of a floating island called the Mud Whale. And basically they are kind of the only island around. However, when they kind of sometimes meet another drifting island, they usually go over there and kind of get things from other islands. And they never meet anyone. But this time, they meet another girl. And she seems to know more about the island than the ones on the Mud Whale. So yeah, I really liked it. It's a manga, and I really have started to fall in love with mangas, and I can't wait to continue on with this story. I am super intrigued uh, by this, and yeah, I can't wait to continue on. And the last book I read and finished this month was Your Rebel Dreams by Tikiri Heroth, and I gave this 4 stars. So basically, this book is specifically for people who kind of I almost said have dreams. So you get all these techniques to kind of see what you want in life, and you have this kind of program to see what you want. And yeah, you should have rather this book physically or something to write on, because you will need to give answers in this book. So yeah, that was all the books I have read this month, and as you see, I have actually read more nonfiction than I ever have done, and that is super weird, to be honest. But yeah, that was all the books I have read, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, if you want to follow me at any of my social media, all the links are down in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye!